Hello, everyone. Today's story is about Sophia, a woman who spent years dreaming of something beautiful but was always waiting for the perfect moment, the right feeling, or someone to tell her go ahead. It's a warm story about fear, courage, and finally choosing yourself. Imagine waking up every single morning knowing exactly what you want, but still doing nothing about it. That was Sophia, 29 years old, living in a small apartment that always smelled like coffee and regret. She had dreams once, big, colorful ones. She wanted to open her own little bakery, not a fancy one, just a warm place where people could come in from the cold rain and leave with a smile and a warm cinnamon roll. But every time she got close to starting, something inside her whispered, "Who do you think you are?" And she listened. For years. One Tuesday in October, everything changed. Not because something huge happened, because something small finally broke her. She was at her boring office job, data entry, 8 hours of clicking numbers into spreadsheets. Her phone buzzed. A message from her mom. "Honey, your cousin Carla just opened her cafe. Looks beautiful. You still thinking about that bakery idea?" Sophia stared at the screen. Her chest felt tight. She typed back, "Yeah, maybe one day." Then she deleted it, typed again, "Congratulations" to her, sent it, and cried quietly in the bathroom for 10 minutes. That night she came home, dropped her bag on the floor, and sat on the couch without turning on the lights. Her best friend Mia called. "Hey Soph, you okay? You didn't answer my texts all day." Sophia's voice was small. "I'm tired, Mia, just really tired. Of work. Of me, of waiting. Of watching everyone else live the life I said I wanted." Mia stayed quiet for a second. Then she said the words that would change everything. "Sophia, what if you stopped asking for permission?" Sophia laughed, but it sounded sad. "Permission from who?" "From yourself, from that voice in your head that always says not yet. What if you just started, even tiny, even scared?" Sophia wiped her eyes. "I don't know how." "Then let's figure it out together," Mia said. "Tomorrow, after work, we'll make one single batch of dough, that's it. No big promises, just dough." Sophia didn't answer right away. She looked around her dark living room. The dream felt so far away, but Mia's voice felt close. "Okay," she whispered, "just dough." The next evening, Mia showed up with 2 bags of flour, yeast, butter, and a playlist called "You Got This, Dummy." They pushed the kitchen table against the wall. Sophia's hands were shaking when she measured the flour. "I'm gonna mess this up," she said. Mia smiled. "Then we'll eat messed up bread, still counts." They laughed. They needed. They talked about stupid things, old high school crushes, bad haircuts, that time they got lost on a school trip. At one point the dough was too sticky. Sophia panicked. "See, I told you I can't do this." Mia put flour on Sophia's nose. "You're not supposed to be perfect on day one. You're just supposed to show up." They kept going. By 11 p.m. they had 2 small, ugly loaves. They tasted like effort and hope. Sophia looked at the bread and started crying again. But this time it wasn't sad crying. It was the kind that comes when something frozen inside starts to melt. Over the next 3 months they kept showing up. Some nights the bread was great. Some nights it was hard as a rock. But every time, Sophia learned something new. She learned how long to let the dough rest. She learned that adding a little more salt makes everything taste alive. She learned that mistakes don't mean you're failing, they mean you're trying. One Saturday, Sophia baked alone for the first time. She called Mia afterward. "Mia, I made cinnamon rolls, like really good ones." Mia screamed so loud the phone speaker crackled. "Take pictures, send them now." Sophia sent the photos. Then she stared at them for a long time. That same weekend she did something she had never done before. She posted the cinnamon rolls on Instagram. No fancy filters, just a simple caption. "First try in my tiny kitchen. They're not perfect, but they're mine." Her phone started buzzing. Friends commented, old classmates, even people she hadn't talked to in years. "You should sell these. These look amazing. When's the bakery opening? I'm first in line." Sophia laughed and cried at the same time, but the fear came back fast. She told Mia, "What if I fail? What if I spend all my savings and no one comes? What if I'm not good enough?" Mia looked her straight in the eyes. "Then you'll have a story, a real one, about how you tried. Isn't that better than a story about how you waited forever?" Sophia didn't answer, but something shifted. She started saving every extra penny. She watched YouTube videos at 2 a.m. about small business permits. She made lists. She made plans. She made more bread. 6 months later, she found a tiny space for rent. It used to be a shoe repair shop. Small, old, perfect. She signed the lease with shaking hands. On the day she got the keys, she called her mom. "Mom, I did it. I signed for a place. I'm opening the bakery." Her mom was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "I always knew you would. I just wish I had told you sooner." Sophia smiled through tears. "You're telling me now. That's enough." Opening day was chaos. The oven broke at 6 a.m. Sophia fixed it with a YouTube tutorial and pure panic. Mia came to help. So did 3 friends from work. They all wore matching aprons that said Team Sophia in messy handwriting. By 8 a.m. there was already a line. People waited. They smiled. They bought everything. One older man bought 6 cinnamon rolls. He looked at Sophia and said, "Young lady, these remind me of my grandma's kitchen. Thank you." Sophia almost dropped the tray. She whispered, "Thank you for coming." That night after closing, Sophia sat alone in the empty bakery. The lights were low. The smell of sugar and butter still hung in the air. She looked around, at the little wooden tables, at the chalkboard menu she wrote herself, at the sign above the door that read, "Sophia's made with love and a little bit of panic." She laughed softly. Then she cried again, because sometimes happiness feels so big it hurts. Months passed. The bakery didn't make her rich, but it made her alive. She hired her first employee, a shy teenager named Lucas who loved baking more than anything. One afternoon Lucas asked her, "Boss, were you ever scared to start this?" Sophia smiled. "Every single day, still am sometimes." "So how do you keep going?" She thought for a second. "I stopped waiting to feel ready. I just started feeling scared and did it anyway." Lucas nodded slowly. "That's cool." Sophia put her hand on his shoulder. "No, that's brave. If there's one thing Sophia wants you to know, it's this. You don't need permission, not from other people, not even from yourself. You just need one tiny step, one small yes, one batch of dough. The fear won't disappear, but it stops being the boss. You become the boss. And maybe, just maybe, your small, imperfect beginning becomes someone else's favorite place in the world. So what are you waiting for? What about you? Have you ever been through something similar? Tell me in the comments. If this story touched you, please like and subscribe for more real-life stories every week. See you in the next one.